Welcome to Bahati, talking about real issues that are affecting you as an individual. Insights about financial and personal growth, plus better relationships. And now, Bahati.
Yes, welcome, amazing people. I don't know if you're as excited as I am about this time of the year, the seasons that we are in, the different levels that we want to attain. I know there's so much that is happening and so many moving heads in our workspaces, in our families, in our relationships, in our career. There's a lot that is happening. But again, that makes me happy to know that we are alive and kicking. And so the promises of God can be fulfilled in our lives. It's never too late for us to bounce back and be resilient and be able to reclaim our year, just like we are going to do today. And there's a lot more in stock for us. So I need you to be able to, if you don't have enthusiasm for yourself or you're just not enthusiastic, I want to be able to pass on mine to you so we can be able to run together. So today I want us to start with our prayer as usual. That is from the Trailblazers Journal. It is a daily prayer, a planner, and a business workbook. It's an amazing book, amazing book. I poured my heart into this book. Okay, so this one says that today, may you be confident and bold, saying and doing the things that most need to be said and done. May feelings of overwhelm turn to feelings of clarity. May you move forward where you've been stuck. May you take a step forward and keep stepping, and may you feel the joy and peace that comes when you are living a life in purpose and on purpose. Okay, that's amazing. I've prayed that prayer over you, and I pray that there will be a lot of clarity, a lot of quickening, a lot of open doors, a lot of getting unstuck in your life in the period and in the remaining time. I believe one thing is our God is the redeemer of time. Our God is a God of a second chance, and our second chance is not just a second chance. A second chance can be a 50th chance or a 100th chance. Why? Because he's still in the business of working with us and partnering with us to making sure that we are living our best lives, and yes to our best lives. Okay, no compromise about that. So tonight, what we get to talk about is this year, when the year was beginning, so many of us were hopeful. So many of us had dreams. So many of us had goals. So many of us proclaimed, we prayed. And some of us, even when sometimes I laugh at the kinds of prayers that we do, that you know what, someone waits until it close midnight and then they will start blabbering whatever kinds of prayers. Sometimes it's not even organized, it's not written, you don't know what you want. And sometimes, let me tell you, as you grow or as you mature in the earthly things and even God, you learn that certain things you can't just do them for the sake of doing them. You can't do them because other people are doing them. You can't do them because they feel good or because everyone is doing it at that right moment. I think for me, how I ended this year was, how I began this year or the end of last year to this year was in a moment of gratitude. Just looking at everything God has done for me. Just looking at how far God has brought me. Just saying, Ebenezer, the far that you have brought me, before I even settled in. And I think I came on the scene later, like a month later, and I said that, you know what, my year began in a slow mode. I did not begin hyped up and all enthusiastic and all. No, it began in a very low mode. And why? Because I needed to be able to find my footing. I needed to be able to be sure. I needed to have a sense of clarity. I needed to be in my prayer closet, in my secret place, engaging God about this year and the people that are going to move with me in this journey. I knew I was praying for you. I was praying for every single soul that is watching this message. And I just wanted the best for us this year. Now, so many of us began this year knowing that, oh, we have a full 12 months. And when we talk about 12 months, it seems like we have a lot of time on our hands to do everything that we have planned to do. Some of us don't even have a framework of a plan, or some of us didn't even know, or we just have things mumbled down and written down, but not exactly in a systematic way. We have not looked at how we are going to achieve them. We have not. So sometimes we live our lives just like that. And I'm guilty of doing that at some point. I am not all perfect. I'm still in the growing zone as well. So many of us thought we had so much time on us. It comes to her quarter, first quarter, and we're like, yeah, first quarter, people are still dilly-dallying. Second quarter goes, people are still dilly-dallying. Third quarter goes, people are starting to now feel the heat, okay? The year is coming to an end. And now that we are in the last quarter of the year, it feels like there's a panic attack somewhere because it's so uncertain how some of us are going to end this year. And then not just the panic attack, because anxiety comes because we're thinking about things that are ahead, and depression comes because we are dwelling in the past. Now, some of us are dwelling on the last 3 quarters of the year, and we are thinking there's nothing much we have done. We have not amounted to anything. We have not, we are not anywhere. We have nothing to show for it, or we have very little to show for it. So some of us are both depressed and we have anxiety, and currently we have panic attacks whenever we see people giving testimonies and telling us how far they have come, the things they've been able to accomplish. Some people are like, I have hit all my targets for the year and I'm just having a surplus time. And so we get panic attacks, we have the anxiety, and then we have the depression. But one thing that I was praying about and God put so heavy on my heart is we still have a chance to reclaim our year. We still have our chance that if we proclaimed and things have not gone the way we proclaimed them or we hoped they would go, we can still reclaim. Reclaiming is bringing back. Reclaiming is saying, give it to me. Okay? Reclaiming is saying the promises are still yes and amen, and I am still strong. I can be able to finish this year strong. I have not given up. I still have hope, and I still have the mental capacity to actually contain what I am supposed to finish. Okay? That means I'm going to have to renew my mind. I'm going to have to re-strategize. I'm going to go back to the drawing board. I'm going to hook up with to get new people in my corner. I'm going to be mentored. I'm going to be coached. I'm going to read the word, or I'm going to read and dive into the resources that I need to do. But I will do everything it takes to make sure that I turn around this year, I spin around this year, that it will not end just like that. It will not just be a year in statistic that says that year also ended, but it will be a year that was counted. It was a year that each day of the last quarter, I made it count. And that is what I mean, that we make every day count in the remaining part of the year. I usually talk about God being a redeemer of time, and I usually say that it's not that he's going to give you all the past 20 years, or he's going to give you all the 3 quarters that are passed in this year. But what he does is he gets the remaining time, and he gets things, he lets you, or he gets you to do things so that you can be able to accomplish what you set to do, or even more than you set to do in the remaining time. That you can accomplish a lot in 2 months, more than you could have accomplished in the last 12 months. Okay? And that is redemption of time. But again, how do we get God to redeem? Because to redeem the time, God cannot redeem the time on his own. You must show the need that you need your time redeemed. And when you show the need to redeem your time, that means you are willing to do the things that you must do in order to partner with God in the redemption of God. That means there's an about turn. There's a change of events. There's a renewed mind. There's a motivation. There's a resilience. There's a consistency. There's a commitment. There's a determination that you're willing to bring to the table. Because God asks, what are you bringing on the table? Because I cannot just be God in heaven and then I do everything for you. I move the needle for you and do everything for you. That means that when God works in us is he partners with us. He works in conjunction with us. Now, when he finds a ready vessel, when he finds a vessel that is ready to commit, ready to take on the world, ready to submit, ready to be humble and to be used of God, ready to reclaim the year, that is when these things, actually the magic happens. What we call the miracles happen, okay? When you have the faith that says that, you know what, I can move this mountain. So God can redeem this year. He can use the remaining time for you to achieve more than you could have achieved in all the 12 months. And that is what our God does, okay? So number one that I want us to get into is you realize that you must be able to believe that it is possible to reclaim this year in order for you to reclaim this year. Before you even open your mouth, before you even say anything, before you even pray, before you even ask God, before you even speak to yourself, because sometimes it takes us to speak to ourselves, you must believe that it is possible for this to be redeemed. Otherwise, if you don't believe, then you are wasting your own time. And when it comes to believing, you must be able to treat all the truth as the truth and the lies as the lies. Because the moment you treat the lie, you treat the lie as the truth, then it starts behaving like the truth. So that means even if it were possible for you to finish the year. Some of us, I remember I asked some of the people, Hold My Hand, the annual membership, and some of them were telling me, oh, I want to save this kind of money by the end of this year. Oh, I want to do this. Now, if you have those vivid dreams, that means when you get to a place and tell yourself, it's not possible, and you take it and you believe it as the truth, let me tell you, it will be an impossibility. It's not going to happen. Why? Because that is what you believe. You treated it as the truth, and now it is the truth and it is manifesting in your life. Oh, are there no good men in this town? You treated it as the truth, and guess what? It's going to manifest in your life. Oh, it's so hard as a woman to penetrate the market, and you treated it as the truth, and now it's going to start behaving like the truth and manifest in your life. So number one, you really have to have a strong belief. But again, for me, I cannot separate belief and confidence, okay? Because they walk hand in hand. When you believe in yourself, when you are confident that I can do this, okay? I am partnering with God. God is omnipresent. He can do all things, and I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But if I can believe that I can do all things, if I have that confidence that I can do all things, then it's so easy for God to partner with me in order to accomplish the things that He wants me to accomplish this year, okay? So I need you to be able to understand that confidence is the womb that gives birth to motivation, to resilience, to consistency, to determination, to commitment, and to better decisions. That is confidence. The moment you lack the confidence, okay, and I don't know what I can say the opposite of confidence is, but for most of the times there will be fear, there will be hopelessness. A person who is not confident will be hopeless. A person who is not confident will be fearful. They are afraid all the time. Now that is a recipe. It's also a womb for downfall, for depression, for anxiety. For whenever you have the fear, you are gripped by fear. You are paralyzed. You are not moving. You cannot do anything. Why? Because your mind is frozen. There is nothing. You cannot renew it. You cannot change it. It cannot even rewind. It's just stuck. Okay? So in the moments of fear is the womb for being stuck, for stagnation, okay? And for making poor decisions or being indecisive. So you realize that in that valley, that is also a womb that gives back to that. But when we come to this side of confidence, confidence is the womb that gives birth to motivation, ambition, determination, and resilience, and reinventing your life, and good decisions. So you realize that if you can build the confidence and make it the womb, that means you are able to give birth to the things that you need to be able to give birth to. Just imagine a lady that has no womb cannot give birth, okay? So a person that has no womb of confidence cannot give birth to the results that they want, because we measure everything by the results, okay? If you want to do something different, or if you want to achieve things that others are not achieving, then you must do things others are not doing. And that takes me back to your womb. So confidence is very important and very crucial to know that I have confidence in God. I have confidence. I think there is that song that says, have confidence in God. And when you have confidence in God, that He's the author and the finisher of your life, that He's the Lord of all flesh, there is nothing that is too hard for Him, that He calls you the head and not the tail, that as in He looks at you and He has all these words that He has to say for you or about you, and you have confidence in Him that called you, the confidence in Him that gave you the kind of resilience that you have, and then the confidence to know that I am going to step up up to the plate, okay? That when God calls me, when I have his mandate to do, or if I have this work to do, if I have this money to make, if I have this family to lead, I'm going to step up to the plate and present myself even with the feeble limbs, knowing that God can help me and turn that around. And my partnership with God is one that is always a winning formula. So I need you to be able to know, believe that it is possible to reclaim the year, and number two, to create the confidence and to have the confidence in God and in you to know that you can accomplish anything and you can finish anything. If it says that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, that means you're saying I can do through Christ. Okay, so you have confidence both in one that promised and you that is showing up to do the work, because God is not going to do the work for you. You have to do the work for yourself. You have to make that money. You have to decide to save it. You have to redeem that relationship. You have to lead that family. You have to as find your purpose. You have to so many things to do. But if you have confidence in you, let me tell you, this has worked for me in so many ways, Just having the self-belief, just having the confidence that, you know what, and this began for me while I was still very young. One thing I believe is I can survive anywhere, not just survive, but I can thrive anywhere, and I can be able to flourish anywhere. I can be able to start afresh anytime. I can be able, because I have known what it means to live in scarcity, utter scarcity, and what it means to live in plenty. But for me, what matters more than anything is that the name of God be glorified in everything that I do. So one thing I know about myself, the confidence and self-belief have put me in places where I have resurrected, where I have reinvented the wheel, where I have changed my life, where I have started from scratch, where even when I had hit the rock bottom, I still believed there is something inside of me. I still was confident about the God that called me. Otherwise, I would not pray to him. Sometimes we lose confidence in God, and that is how we cannot even pray to him. We cannot even involve him in other things. We cannot invite him into our business, because then we are not so sure. If you're not so sure about someone, for example, so many of us think our parents are so strong. That is why when you hit yourself, the first person to call, you call your mom, you call your dad, because we think these are our superheroes. That means we have confidence in them. Have you ever seen a young boy reporting to the dad? He just feels like, my dad is going to finish you. My dad is going to kufunya. My dad is, as in, he just feels, even when the dad is the worst coward in this world, the child will believe that the dad has their back. So how much more for us that God has our back? We can be confident in him, and then we can be confident in the fact that he called us. We can be confident in the fact that we can do all things. We can be confident in the fact that greater is he that is in us than the one that is in the world. Okay, so I need you to be able to develop that confidence. And how we develop that confidence, I want to be able to talk about it, and that is feeding on a constant, steady meal of goodness, okay, of motivation, of good sermons, of glad tidings, of things that build your faith. Because when you build your faith, then you're able to build your confidence, then you're able to build your self-belief, then you're able to build all these things. And when we talk about confidence, because here we are building confidence, when we talk about confidence, it reminds me of David. I don't know whether you have thoroughly read the story of David. But if it takes me to the story of David and how David was in the background, when even Saul came to anoint, he thought it was the big statured brothers, but he was the one that was there taking care of the sheep, taking care of the cows, taking care of, of the lamb. And in that area where he was, he used to fight with lions, he used to fight with bears, he used to save the sheep. So this one time, there's a battle, and the Philistines are challenging the army of Israel, and he has to take food to his brothers. They're the ones that had gone out, to fight, because they were the ones that had the stature. They had the big muscles. They were big. They were huge. They were tall. If you looked at them, have you ever looked at someone and say, they have all it takes, okay? They have all it takes. So this young boy goes to take the food, and while there is a rumor around, the Philistines' army is challenging the army of God and the army of Israel. And he says, why What did you say? It's like, yeah, this is what happens. This man wakes up every day. He goes in the valley and says, come and challenge us. We're going to kill you and we're going to finish you. And so what he says, what he goes ahead to do, he shows you the audacity that even when he was in the background taking care of the sheep and what, he had the audacity to have the confidence to even ask the man that kills Goliath, what does he get? Okay, I mean, to even try on the cloth, the armor, to see whether he can go and fight, and none of it could work. All he had was a sling, all he had were the stones. And this is what he says, that yes, you come with whatever it is, you are 6 feet tall, you are threatening, you are everything, but I come in the name of God. That means that David did not just trust in himself and his capabilities. Yes, he knew that he had the background of killing the bears, the lions, and all that. And, no one even knew about it. But he knew that, yes, I am this small boy that is coming with my sling, that is coming with my stones, but I come in the name of God. Now, how much more if we finish this year strong and say, the remaining days, I am coming in the name of God. And I don't just have faith in me. I don't just have belief in me. I don't have just the confidence in me, but I have confidence in both me and God that we can do so much, okay? And we can be able to redeem the time. So you realize that even when Goliath was the tallest and he had all these clothes, metallic clothes and the metallic armor, and he had the shield, and if you see those pictures, I don't know, so for me, I usually, when I read the Bible, I'm like watching a movie, and thanks to even my parents taking me to Sunday school when I was young, and how they gave us those, picture Bibles and how we used to look at them. So I know exactly, when I look at the picture Bibles, I know how Goliath was dressed, all in metal, because, they thought he was unbeatable. They thought he was, so remember, if they thought he was confident and he had confidence in the right place, he would not, because David didn't have the metallic cloth. He even tried to put on the armor, and it was heavy, and he put it off. So he decided to go like on his own, live, like nothing was covering him. But on the other hand, the 6 foot tall was coming with, clad in metallic, a metallic thing. And so the Bible says that the stone went and hit in the what would call joints. It hit in the joints. Just imagine, he is covered from head to toe, and he has joints, but clearly. And that means Goliath did not even have confidence in God. He had confidence in his power. He had confidence in his life. And he didn't even have that much confidence because he came all full clad in metallic, because then he knew no one is going to beat me with a sword and I'm going to die. So maybe he thought that this boy is going to come with a sword, or the army was going to come with a sword. He didn't see it coming that the smallest stone from a small boy will be the one that takes down his life and just going through the joints of the metallic clothes. He didn't see that coming, because all he anticipated, they would come with swords. They would come, wanting to kill him, wanting to stab him, but nothing. He would not be stabbed because he was in metal, and he didn't know that God can use anything. So I want you to look at whatever situation that has been standing in your way, and it is too big. Let me tell you, that situation can bow to God. If the Bible says that every knee shall bow and every tongue confess, your problem it can speak, and your problem has a tongue, and your problem can proclaim that God is indeed God. Okay, so I need you to be able to know that the confidence is not just in you, but the confidence in God, the one who started that good work, and he wants to bring it to accomplishment. That 12 months could have gone by so fast, and now you just have days remaining, but it doesn't mean to throw in a towel. It doesn't mean to give up. It doesn't mean to walk back. It doesn't mean to die because of anxiety, to die because of depression, to look at other people and compare yourself, how far they have gone, what they have achieved, and what you have not been able to achieve. I know that it's a sorry state, but again, if we have pity on us and throw pity parties, what's going to change? Nothing is going to change. So the best thing is you rise up and dust off yourself and say, God still sees good in me, and guess what? I can finish this year strong. I am reclaiming this year. That just like Joshua did, and say that, you know what, even at 90, I can still have my mountain. Give me my mountain. You can still reclaim that mountain and say, I can still make this much money. I can still turn around my family. I can still make it on my weight loss journey. I can still make it on my spiritual development journey. I can still make it in attaining a skill. I can still make it in being the greatest public speaker. I can still attain it by being the greatest, media personality. I can still attain it by being the greatest MC there is. I can still attain it by being the greatest graphics designer I can be, the greatest videographer, whatever it is still possible. So, number one, we said feed yourself on a constant diet that creates confidence. By listening to what we are talking about right now, by listening to good sermons, by listening to good books, audio books, and maybe even just reading a good book. That means you are feeding your confidence. Now you know you can. Now you know it is possible. Now you know it is not for anyone else. It is for you as well. Now you know. So I need you to be able to start feeding yourself. Feeding yourself, okay? And you have to be very careful while you are in the season of building your confidence. You have to be very, very careful, because while you erect a building, while you build confidence, while you build whatever it is that you are building, you have to be very, 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 very careful, because as you build, you must be able to use the right material. If you use the wrong material, it's not going to stand. So while you erect, while you build, while you build a confidence, I need you, or even protecting, because sometimes after building we protect, you need to be able to use the right materials. You need to be able to be on a constant diet. And in building, from the foundation, the kind of cement that you use, the kind of stones that you use, the kind of bricks that you use, the kind of, everything that you use should be to hold it in one space, to be able to stand the test of time. Okay, so if you're building your confidence, we don't want you to have the wavering confidence. That happens sometime, but again, you should have this maximum, or you should have this residual confidence that is new, that can never be shaken, that can never be taken away. And that means being able to open your ears to just the right things, because wrong things are pulling down. Wrong things become like the paper. Wrong things become like the grass, that now you've put grass on a foundation or on a wall. What's going to happen? It's just going to fall over. But if you build with good bricks, and if you build time by time, and if you go and buy the good cement, and if you're able to go and buy the good stones, if you're able to actually employ a very good engineer or foreman, that means you are taking care of your building. And here we are building confidence. So that means you can take care of your confidence by being careful how you erect, how you build, and how you protect your confidence. This is a season of protecting your confidence. You build and protect your confidence. So I need you to know that confidence is very, very, very important when it comes to your life. Feed yourself on content. Feed yourself on anything that you think is going to flare up my confidence. It is going to grow my confidence. It is going to evolve my confidence, to expand my confidence. Okay, because the more confident you are, the more things you can be able to tackle, the more things you can be able to accomplish, the more things you can be able to envision. Do you know that it takes audacity and confidence for you to dream bigger than everyone around you, for you to dream bigger than your family members, for you to dream bigger than your colleagues, for you to dream bigger than your acquaintances and your friends and all that? It takes boldness, it takes confidence, it takes you knowing who you are and saying, you know what, I can figure it out, things can happen, and I will be good. Okay, and the moment you have that, I have seen it work in my life, I have seen it work in so many people's lives. So I need you to be able to create that confidence, build that confidence, protect that confidence against all odds. It just doesn't matter what is happening in your life. It doesn't matter what low you have hit, what rock bottom you are in right now, whether you feel like giving up, whether you feel like giving in. I say this is not time to give in. This is not time to give up. This is not time to just throw in a towel. This is not time to give up on yourself and on your dreams. It is time to have the audacity to say, yes, I've been in a bad place, but right now I'm gathering my pieces. Right now I'm standing up again. Right now I am I'm calling on the God that redeems the time. Right now, I am partnering with the God by being a good decision maker. Right now, remember I told you that confidence is the womb that gives birth to ambition, to resilience, to good decisions, you know, and to creativity. That is all confidence. We are creative because we are confident. We can only perform because we are confident. We can only hit our goals because we are confident. How else are you going to run after your goal if you're not confident to run after it? Okay? How else are you going to accomplish the things that you need to accomplish if you don't have confidence attached to you? So I need you to be able to build it. I need you to be able to know what, and some of us, not all sermons are supposed to be listened to. Sometimes you can listen to a sermon and you're like, what did I just listen to? That was not even impactful in my life. That was not even helpful in my life. Yes, they're there. You can listen to a motivational speaker and ask yourself, are they motivating me, or they're just beating me down and letting me lose my self-esteem and my confidence even the more? So that means you must be very picky on who you listen to, because then if you give someone your ears, they actually have your future. Whoever has your ears have your future. Okay? So if your future is supposed to be brilliant, if your future is supposed to be mega, that means you should be able to fix your eyes on the right things, okay? And your confidence on the right things. So I need us to go through to the confidence bit of it. I know confidence is not an easy thing to be able to create, but it is figure outable. It is actually doable, and it is something that is a sweet, sweet, sweet experience. And if you have it in yourself and have it in God, then you are unstoppable. You know, when you talk about these things like being unstoppable, we think maybe some people are just brought up like that. No, some of us have just decided to confess these things until we possess them. Some of us have just decided to say that, you know what can I say better? What can I do better? In this situation, in this season, with the resources that I have, what can I do better? And let me tell you, before you know it, confidence lives action. Okay? For as long as you're in one place, confidence is not going to come and show forth. Confidence is shown in actions. Confidence is shown in the audacity. So can you be audacious enough to dream bigger? Can you be audacious enough to speak to the people that are in front of you? Can you be audacious enough to require of yourself a lot more than what you are giving right now? I need you to take that and do that as an assignment, because I know it's going to be quite life-changing even for you. So I need us to go to number 2, that after feeding, and number 2 is filter. Okay? Filter out everything that is causing doubt. Filter out everything that is causing doubt. Remember, we are creating confidence. And when we talk about confidence, we say that the other side we have fear, the other side we have doubt as well. So doubt is actually a womb for everything that is not right. You know, for procrastination, for second guessing ourselves, for not achieving our goals. Like, it's a womb of its own. So that means if you really, 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 really must create the confidence. Remember, we talked about creating the confidence and protecting the confidence, because it is what you need in order to reclaim this year. So now we are saying you must be able to filter whatever is not working and whatever is bringing doubt. What has been bringing doubt in your life? Some of us have friends that are creating doubt all the time. Some of us have people in our lives that are creating doubt all the time. And I'm not saying that, you know what, go and erase them, go and eliminate them. Actually, instead of eliminating them, you can decide and say, I am going to limit them. That in this season of your life, in this season of your year, while you're trying to reclaim the good finish of the year, you should be able to be very mean with your time. Okay, you should be able to evaluate and say, you know what, this is not for me right now. In this season of my life, where I am reclaiming my time, where I'm reclaiming my year, where I'm reclaiming everything that I want to do in this year, this is not time for jokes. This is not time for chilling. This is time to actually filter out everything that has been causing doubt in my life. Is it your friends? Is it your spouse? Is it your home? Is it your whatever it is? And I know you might tell me, but this is all family. How are you going to get rid of them? I have not said anything to do with getting rid of them. I have said you might not eliminate, but you have to limit. Okay, certain things have to work out of your sight. Certain things must be, be at an arm's distance. Some people you love at an arm's distance, because you alone know what you accomplish. Okay, you alone know what you want to accomplish. So you alone will make the sacrifices that will make this sacrifice worthwhile. And I need you to to be able to tap in that. So filter out everything that is causing doubt, and filtering, some of it can be even about friendships, by the way, not just colleagues or not just siblings, but even friendships. Okay, and it doesn't mean you eliminate, it means that you limit your interaction. Okay, and then when building your confidence, you have to limit your interactions and exposure to certain type of people, and that is limiting. Okay, saying, you know what, stay where you are, because when you come to me, you bring a turmoil, you destabilize my life. And there are people who are like that. You just can't trust them. Whenever they come, your mood gets sunken. Whenever they come, you feel you're sulking. Whenever they come, you feel you're not making any headway. So I need you to be able to know that in this moment, when you are building your confidence, sometimes you have to limit your interactions and exposure to a certain type of people or to a certain type of things. And this is a deliberate choice. Okay, while you're building your confidence, you feed yourself on something that is motivating, on something that is helpful, on something that is taking you ahead, and then you filter out whatever is causing the doubt. Remember, we said that doubt is a womb also. Just like confidence is a womb, doubt is a womb, and it will breed mistrust. It will breed second guessing. It will breed failure, okay? Until you'll be like, you know what, I think I really, really, really have to do something different about my life. I know for sure that in my life I have filtered a lot. For people that know me, I've spoken about it very freely in the past or even right now, where I say I have had to close out on certain friendships because they were not going where I was going. Two people cannot work together unless they agree. And so when I discovered that, you know what, these friends of mine had different ways of looking at things, and all they wanted was, you know, to party, all they wanted was to have a good time. And in my heart, I'm like, I can have a good time at the prayer altar. I can have a good time in my sacred place. I can have a good time with my family. I can have a good time. So I knew that at some point I needed to limit their access, and I needed to cut, not just to cut them out or to totally, you know, cut the relationship out or the friendship out, but I knew I had to limit them. I had to limit my exposure to them. And some of you could even be just about social media, and you just have to do something. Because there is no way you can filter out things and remain with things that are contradicting and things that are not helping. So I need you to be able to step up higher, okay? To step up higher, limit whatever you need to limit, and that has made me lighter, that has made me more ambitious, that has made me more goal-oriented, that has made me more, you know, family-oriented, that has made me a better person. But if I don't have, and once these people want to establish new relationships with me, I usually make it very hard. Why? Because I don't want to go back into the same loop. I need to be able to grow and evolve. So I do not have that luxury. So I want you to limit your exposure to certain type of people. And sometimes it can even be your spouse. Yeah, I know that it's a hard one. It can even be your spouse. And what they do is pull you down. What they do is show you how you cannot amount to anything. So I need you to be able to just limit. Don't cut them out, but limit your interaction. I have told some wives that, you know what, you have no business telling every dream. I know for some couples that are fine and they are on a good footing, they share everything. But there is when you know that every time I share with my wife, she pulls it down, she tries to sabotage the idea, or she tries to show me that it cannot be done, and that is a person that is already planting doubt. And remember, we are saying we want to filter out, okay, certain things. So I need you to be able to be strong and stand up for what you believe in. So while you build your confidence, make sure you have a limited interaction with exposure to certain type of people, okay? And I can't feed and filter right and lack confidence. Those two that we talked about, you can't feed on a good diet of sermons, of motivational, you know, nuggets, of good radio, good TV, whatever it is you consume your content. But there is no way you are going to feed your mind with that and you're going to come out an ordinary man. Sometime when you get to speaking, everyone will be like, why did she get those things? How come she's speaking so eloquently? Why? Because you took time to feed yourself, and now you are more relevant than you have ever thought. And when it comes to filtering, we've talked about filtering. You can't feed and filter right and lack confidence, okay? because then one eliminates another. You will be filtering and you'll be feeding, and guess what? The confidence will be building and it will keep getting higher and higher and higher. One thing I don't want you to be about this whole thing is arrogant. Okay, I don't want to, because arrogance breaks and arrogance makes you last. Okay, no one wants to deal with that. So I need you to be able to focus and be able to filter out. And when we talk about filtering, some of it can be social media. In this season of reclaiming my year, I don't want social media to reign over me. I am going to reign over social media. I'm going to decide how much I post. I'm going to decide, you know, when I post. I'm going to decide what I post. I'm going to decide everything. Is literally in my power. So while I'm in this season of reclaiming my year, I do not want distractions. And so I can decide and say, I'm limiting those. On Friday, there's a lady that told us that she even uninstalled TikTok because she thought, she made an audit about her life, and she said that, you know what, for the longest time, I think I have been self-sabotaging. Okay, so I need you to be able to know that social media is so strong. It can be a distraction, but it can also be a good tool. So many of us let it reign over us instead of us reigning over it. And in this time where you are trying to reclaim your year, I need you to be able to be sober and to be able to say, you know what, I'm not going to filter this out and I'm going to put it aside. And if you want to live like no one else, you have to live like no one else. If you want to have what no one else has, you have to do what no one else is willing to do. And as you reclaim this year, I need you to be able to look over those sentences, the two sentences that we have mentioned, that if you want to live life like no one else, you know those things of, you know what, I want a better life. I want to live like a life that I have not lived before. I want to live a better life. I want to do this. So you must be able to do the things that not everyone is actually doing. That means sacrificing. That means, you know, committing yourself. That means being consistent. That means showing up. That means saying, I am ready. That means saying, you know what, I will go. That means saying that I am going to cultivate my confidence. I'm going to cultivate everything that is inside of me to be able to contribute to this one thing. I think it was yesterday I was talking to the people in my mentorship class, and we were talking about frustration and how it's a pointer and how we should be able to listen to our frustrations. And I know that there's a frustration that is low-key building in your life about the things that you have not yet hit or the things that you have not yet accomplished. But again, I don't want that to take you off course. I want you to be able to come back and realign and say, yes, there are things that I've not been able to do, but again, there are things that I've been able to accomplish, and that should count for something. Okay, so while you look at yourself and say, I want the things that other people have not had, I want to have a bigger breakthrough, I want to have more monies, I want to have a better relationship, those people decide and say, I am also going to invest a lot, I'm going to sacrifice a lot, I'm going to show up a lot, I'm going to be consistent a lot, I'm going to be unstoppable, and I am just going to show up and make sure that I do the things that I need to do. So social media is something that you should be able to limit and say in this season. But again, more than anything, if you want something different. And I remember it was someone who said something in the lines of, if we do the same thing over and over again, but wanting different results, that is not going to happen anywhere. So that means you must be able to speak to yourself and say, if I want a different result, I must be able to do something different in order for me to arrive at this result that I really want. Okay, so let's go to number 2. I'm just going to touch on it. We're not going to finish it, but I know it was very important because aside from confidence and us building the confidence that we have talked about, the other thing is clarity, that we must have clarity. If you're going to reclaim your year, you need a lot of clarity. And here you need a picture of your desired outcome. What is it that you want? What is it that you want? Now, the moment you have a picture of your desired outcome, and I think it was somewhere I was reading recently, this could have been Zig Ziglar, that said that if you aim at nothing, you hit like all the time or every time. That means you're aiming at nothing. So you're just going to hit anything. But if you're aiming at something, that means every time you miss, you know that you are actually missing. So now having that sense of clarity Why? Some of us are getting married in this, the last quarter. Yes, your dream was to get married, but sometimes the desired outcome is when you have to evaluate and say, why am I getting married exactly? Am I getting married because others are getting married? Am I getting married because I want to be excited for my big day? Am I getting married to get crystal pictures for Instagram? Am I getting married because I think if I don't get married to him, then I'm going to lose him, or if I don't get married to her, I'm going to lose her? Why am I getting married? Because the picture of the desired outcome is to have a good marriage. Now, so many of us do not prepare for the marriage, but we prepare for the wedding. So you realize that there's a discrepancy, and sometimes that is why marriages never work at all. 2 months in and someone is running away, someone is throwing in a towel, and they're saying they're cursing the day they ever met even their spouses. Why? Because the clarity was not there. Some of us take face value. Now, face value is not clarity. Clarity is you deeper, and you ask yourself endless questions until you come to the core of the thing that you are doing. Okay? Where there is no vision, people cast out restraint. Remember, when you talk about restraint, recently I was talking to you about my weight loss journey, and I told you that in the past 3 to 4 weeks, I had actually lost more than 7 kilos. And I know that, that would sound quite fast, but again, for me, it's not fast enough. Sometimes I want it to happen very fast. But you realize that because I have a desired outcome, now I have to place restraints on myself. There's certain types of foods that I will not eat. There's certain types of drinks that I will not drink. I mean, my fridge can be filled with soda, and let me tell you, each time I look at that soda, it's just not appealing. It can be filled with juice, but each time I look at that juice, it's not even appealing. I will do mostly sugar-free juice. I will do salad. So where everyone is doing whatever they are doing, they also have a picture of their desired outcome. But I have a picture, it's personal, okay? Reclaiming this year is personal, and that is something that we should be able to talk about. You're not going to reclaim this year as a bandwagon, as a whole church, as a, whatever it is. You have to go alone and say, God, it's me and you, and this is what I want to accomplish in the next 60 days, in the next 50 days, in the next 30 days, whatever it is, in the next 2 days. I don't know, whatever it is that applies to you, and say, you know what, I might as well start doing the things that I must be able to do in order to get the mark and the result that I want to get at. But you realize that if you have the clarity, that is when you place the restraint. And the restraint is the things that you're not going to do, the things that you will be able to do, the things that you don't want to do, the things. So you're placing restraint, where you can compromise and where you can't compromise, where complacency can work and where it cannot work. So you realize that you have the restraint. Why? Because there's a vision, there's a clear picture about the outcome that you want, and you're willing to work towards it. Otherwise, if you're not working towards anything, just like Zig Ziglar said, that if you have nothing to hit, every time you're going to hit. Yeah, every time. It's like, then you'll be celebrating. Have you ever played with a kid and you celebrate every move, that even if it's a failure? We don't celebrate like that. We make sure that we have hit the target. We make sure that we are consistent. We make sure that we show up. We make sure that we read. We make sure that we research. We make sure that we engage ourselves. We feed ourselves and then filter out everything that is causing the doubt and get crystal clear on what it is that we want. And then we can lock in the direction, and then we can run as fast as we can. Some of us are running as fast as we can, but going in the wrong direction. Why? Because we have not fixed our result, and we have not drawn our result. We have not fed our confidence, and we have not filtered out everything that we need to filter out. And so now it's so hard for us to be able to run towards that target. So I need you to be able to be very crystal clear. What is it that you want? Okay? And if you have that desired outcome, I want you to come back and ask yourself, what must I do now in order to get to this desired outcome? And as we reclaim this year, I need you to know that God is in your corner, okay? He's not against you. He is in your corner, and He wants you to accomplish everything that He created for you to accomplish. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. You are powerful. You have a blueprint of greatness inside of you. He knew you before He formed in your mother's womb, before your parts were woven together in the sacred places. He had a good plan for you, and a plan of a good ending. So that means that the endings are good. According to God, He wants them to be good. Even the ending of this year must be good. The ending of next year, the ending of your life must be good. But that must be connected with the dots that we are connecting. So feed yourself, filter everything that you need to filter, create the confidence and build it and protect it, and make sure that you get clear on everything that you want and the desired outcome that you want. Okay, so from me to you is bless you, and I pray that confidence shall abound, and I pray that you'll be surrounded by stepping out and stepping in your purpose and live a life of abundance for the rest of your life. Okay, bless you.
Thank you for watching. Bahati comes to you every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 9 p.m. here on Spirit TV. Bahati, bringing you knowledge, wisdom, financial and personal growth, better relationships leading to your transformation and elevation.